December 23, 1933, Christmas was just around the corner, and the town was bustling with excitement. But amidst the holiday cheer, a young woman in a navy blue skirt and shoes, a white blouse, and a casually draped floral print scarf, stood alone at the Greyhound bus station. Her eyes darted around nervously as she inquired about travel and fare information to Erie, Pennsylvania and Elmira, New York. Eventually, she purchased a ticket to Willoughby, and boarded the bus with an air of trepidation. Upon arriving, she sought out a local gentleman for help, who led her to a boarding house owned by Mrs. Mary Judd, located in the downtown area. Despite not leaving a name, she checked in and identified herself only as Kate. As night fell, the woman retired to her room to rest. But the following morning, she was up before the sun, spending some time reading in the common area before breakfast. Mrs. Judd gave her directions to the main bus station and a local church, but something seemed to be weighing on the woman's mind. At around 11 a.m., she left the boarding house and headed downtown. An hour later, she returned looking a little worried, clutching her suitcase tightly. She thanked Mrs. Judd for her hospitality, returned the room key, and paid for her stay before promptly departing. It was a quiet afternoon when numerous witnesses saw a young girl walking down a street that led past a cemetery. She carried a leather suitcase and seemed to be heading towards an unknown destination. As she reached the end of the street, she purposely disappeared into a cluster of maple trees. Moments later, she emerged on the other side of the woods, only to be confronted by railroad tracks extending into the distance. Suddenly, an eastbound train traveling at a speed of about 65 miles per hour appeared, heading towards New York. Witnesses watched in horror as the girl dropped her suitcase and sprinted towards the tracks. The train struck her, sending her small body flying through the air and onto the gravel siding. Her short life came to an abrupt and tragic end. When the local authorities arrived, they were surprised to find no visible wounds or blood on her body. Her purse contained a few coins, a handkerchief, and makeup trinkets. Later her leather suitcase was discovered in nearby bushes. It contained a towel, several crudely sharpened pencils and envelopes. However, none of these items gave any indication of her identity. The only lead they found was a railroad ticket to Corey, Pennsylvania. Her body was taken to James McMahon's local funeral home, where he determined that she had died from injuries sustained in the train accident. Her age was estimated to be around 23, and she had reddish-brown hair and hazel eyes. She stood 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed 135 pounds. Mr. McMahon felt a sense of duty to give the girl a proper farewell, and the townsfolk came in droves to pay their respects. Authorities received countless leads, but all the attempts failed to identify the girl. In the end, the only home she had was beneath the shelter of a towering pine tree in the Willoughby cemetery. The plot was generously donated by the community, and Hank Heaverly, the cemetery sexton, launched a campaign to provide her with a proper headstone. Thanks to the kindness of the townsfolk, a beautiful gravestone was erected in her memory, adorned with an inscription that read, "In the memory of Girl in Blue, killed by train, December 24, 1933, unknown but not forgotten." The funeral of the Girl in Blue was a significant event, with over 3,000 locals coming to pay their respects and hoping to identify her. But it took several decades for her true identity to be revealed. It was in December 1993, when the News Herald published an article commemorating the anniversary of her death, that a Pennsylvania real estate agent, Ed Sekerick, recognized her as Josephine Klimchak, a former resident of the Klimchak family farm in Spring Creek. Court records confirmed Sekerick's report, and Willoughby lawyer William Gargiulo requested Lake County Probate Court Judge, Fred Skock, to officially recognize her true identity. However, while the mystery of her identity was solved, there were still unanswered questions. It was unclear whether she had taken her own life or was rushing to catch a train, and the reason for her visit to Willoughby. As the years went by, her mysterious visit to Willoughby faded into the past, but her story continued to be retold, serving as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of extending kindness and hospitality to those in need. Her life may have been short, but the memory of the girl in blue remained a lasting testament to the power of community and the enduring nature of human compassion.